Hold on.
All right, T-Birds, welcome back to T-Bird Talk, episode 4. Can you believe it or not? We have 4 whole episodes. They have kept us on, and actually, they've invited us back for another season. We just got renewed by the networks. It's great news. And today we've got a special guest. I'll have him introduce himself just in here in a minute. Our topic question is, tell us a little bit about your pets growing up. As many of you are working from home and learning from home, you're having time to spend with your pets. So talk about your pets growing up. Ms. Halterman, kick us off.
All right. Well, I don't know if my memories of my pets are good ones, but we had a little dog named Moppy, and it was a Lopso Opso, and it was the meanest dog on earth. And so what Moppy would do was she didn't like people coming to the house, so she would definitely lose teeth in the fence and on the door jambs trying to attack people. So that's my childhood memory of our dog.
That is an awful story. That's really an awful story. So thank you for sharing that. And what
You're
you
welcome.
don't know about Miss Halterman is she is a closet hoarder as well. She hoards not things. She hoards animals. So just the other day, I got a picture from her of a new cat named Luna. It's adorable. I'm allergic to cats, and so I have little love in my heart for cats. But I'm glad that others do. Marty Reed, talk about your pet growing up.
Man, we had a million of them. I grew up on a little mini farm, so we had horses and rabbits and dogs and cats. So, but probably my favorite was Rusty the dog. Rusty was a little terrier type dog, I remember if we rescued. I think we rescued Rusty, or Rusty showed up one afternoon at the house, and but he was a good family pet and got along with all the other animals, and yeah, that was my favorite one from my childhood.
Awesome. Coach Weeks, what do you got there? Tell me about your childhood pet.
Well, my favorite pet, I think we had many pets, and we lived in Canada, way out in the boonies, on a 100-acre farm, and we had a German Shepherd named Patsy, and Patsy was very loyal and protective, as you know German Shepherds are. And my biggest memory is of her when a neighbor came over who she did not know, and she ran out of the
Coach
door.
Weeks, we have a special guest.
Hey, it's the favorite pet of all.
He's disappearing in the virtual background, but is that Terry the T-Bird that's here?
That's the Tbird.
Tbird made a special visit.
He's struggling with the virtual background right now.
Disappears. Terry's been working his core lately, I can tell. That's good. Good, solid. All right. Sorry to cut you off, Coach Weeks. We had a visitor with Terry the T-Bird showing up.
That's okay. You got to have time for Terry the T-Bird. But
Yeah.
Anyway, we had a neighbor who Patsy did not know, and she bolted out of the house and tackled the neighbor and proceeded to bark
I don't have
right in
anything.
the
I
face.
didn't put anything else up
We
there,
had to
so-
grab her and
You're
take
good.
her away, but she was an awesome dog. So.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Coach. All right. We'll get back to this. Tim Graham, what you got here? What was your pet growing up?
Well, when I was a kid, we didn't have pets really in our house. My parents didn't do it. So for those of us who grew up in the 70s, I had a pet rock.
Yeah.
Pet rocks were really big then. So I had my rock and I got it for Christmas and it was an awesome deal. So pet rock is what I had. Yeah.
Was it in like the box with the hay and everything, little holes in the box?
Yes, we had a box that it went into. It's just kind of like those little chia pets. It was just really awesome. So.
Somebody made millions of dollars on that idea. I guess that's there's hope for everybody here. That's
Oh, yeah.
amazing.
Hey,
We had a dog. We didn't have any.
Hey, one Easter, I had a set of pet rocks too. One Easter, I decided to put up an Easter egg with those pet rocks and forgot about it for about a month, and was trying to figure out why my room stunk so bad.
Tough to tell sometimes, Mr.
Took
Reed.
me a little while to figure that one out.
We had Lady, who was a part beagle, part terrier. We picked her up as a rescue dog, and I think she was afraid of me for most of the time. But she was with us for 4 or 5 years. I think we got her when I was like 14 or 15, and a nice family dog. All right, let's talk about why we're here today. We are gonna get you some updates a little bit on what is happening. One, we're gonna talk a little bit about the fact that we're starting clubs and activities. Coach Weeks, you want to talk a little bit about your vision for clubs and activities coming up?
Well, we have a unique situation being in this remote learning, but we still want to connect with students in any way we can. And so with clubs, we're going to kick our first club day off on October 14th, right after homeroom, about 9 o'clock, and we're working on Zoom and Google Meet links for the club advisors who are going to meet. We're working on that list. We're going to email that out with the links very soon. I know of 3 clubs already. We have the Nerd Club with Mr. Kramer Sandy, and we have Key Club with Miss Jewel. And so those are a few that have already responded. And also Rifle Team Club is going to have a meeting. So
Awesome.
we've got a few clubs going, and we're just making it work in this remote setting.
And we hope as we get more clear about the ability to meet in person, we hope we can do more and more on campus with having club meetings and our hybrid model in the future. That'll be a part of the work. So, Mr. Reed, talk about some activities for students that you might see coming up through our Renaissance class in October.
Well, Mrs. Judici does a great job with Renaissance, and I know they've got a activity, You've Been Booed, I think is the name of it for this one, where students have an opportunity to be able to send candy or some other type of thing to friends via that the Renaissance class helping with that, so people can stay socially distanced in this current setting.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember. I know they've got a couple planned, and I think one's still in the making. I know that Mr. Weeks' class too has done some positive affirmations for staff as well, working on that piece and sharing just the great work that our staff's been doing also. So appreciate that from both our leadership and our Renaissance groups. And I know our Renaissance groups does monthly staff appreciation activities as well.
It's been so awesome to watch our kids step up and lead in this remote environment. I just watched our first episode of the morning announcements, which I think you're really going to enjoy. So kids are using digital tools. They're stepping up. They're still leading in ways that are quite remarkable. Ms. Halterman, talk a little bit about what our seniors should be expecting and be thinking about. Lots of cool stuff happening for seniors. Is it the month of October already? Did that happen?
No, right? Like, it's crazy. But October is the time for seniors. So we've got a couple really big events coming up. Remember, Wednesdays are for seniors right now. So this Wednesday on the 7th at 6:30, we'll have a senior information night via Zoom. We'll get that information out, some great information from our counselors, resources. We'll talk a little bit about college applications, the workforce, scholarship opportunities. It's October, so we're going to be talking about how to do things like that as well. On the following Wednesday, on the 14th, right after you check in with your homeroom teachers, seniors will go to their Jostens senior meeting. And so Jostens will provide all the information needed for grad gear and announcements and all those fun, great things we do for graduation. So Wednesdays for seniors. So just to recap, this Wednesday we have the parent night and senior night. Next Wednesday on the 14th, seniors will be checking into homeroom and go into that Jostens meeting. All that information will be sent out through Skyward. So just keep checking those emails.
Isn't there one thing too? Don't the seniors have a senior meeting on Wednesday as well, right after homeroom this week, that the counselors are leading?
You're right. Yes. And there's one thing I did forget, so now you're jogging my memory. Picture day. So seniors, one of their favorite things is their pictures for their ASB card, and we allow seniors to make it personal. So they get to dress up a little bit. Do keep in mind that there are a few rules though. So number 1, no live animals or animals that were once alive. Number 2, this is a legal document. We need to see your faces. So please no full face makeup. We need to be able to identify you from your picture. Mr. Broom's showing you some examples. Last year we had some great ones. We had a Bob Ross that was a spitting image. So you're welcome to dress up, and then the information on when you're doing your picture is out in Skyward. Lysol spray would be a good addition to your senior picture this year.
Seniors, have fun with this. Please know that there are limits.
Can I wear my mask?
You know what, Mr. Graham, you cannot wear a mask actually. We're gonna have a touchless system where you don't need to touch anything, but we wanna have your mask off so we can take a picture of you. But have fun with it, seniors. I know you have missed a couple of these early traditions. We're bound to make them up as we move throughout the year, but this is a fun one, and seniors last year did an incredible job taking a picture. The key thing, it has to be your name. We can't mess with people's names. That's a legal requirement. And I have to be able to identify you in emergency situations, or in, so you may come back to school and say, hey, I need a copy of this because I need to get my driver's license or an ID card. Or this happens every year. And then if it's you with a chipmunk, oh wait, if the chipmunk had been alive before, we can't do that. And it's hard to identify you. So just keep those things in mind. Your photo will be usually your senior photo that you put in the yearbook. If you don't have a senior photo, that's what will show up in the yearbook. So just think about that. But have fun with it tomorrow. Mr. Graham and I are going to end on a couple different notes. We did all the fun and exciting stuff. Please don't stop because there's important things happening. What we're also seeing is we're seeing a trend in our number of students who are failing classes is much higher than we normally have at this time of year. And part of that's understandable. We're teaching in a new way. Kids are learning in a new way. Kids are getting used to their home environment. That couch that you used to sit on where you would play video games has now become the place where you are learning, and that's a transition. But what we're seeing is far more kids than normal that are having an F right now in class. Partly that's just one assignment or maybe two assignments, so it's really easy to shift that number. But I need help from you parents and I need help from you students to really think about how can I get more organized and turn those things into Google Classroom so that way those grades increase. Tim, do you want to talk a little bit about what freshmen should be thinking?
Yeah, we're not in panic mode, as Mr. Broom was stating, but we want to bring it to your attention that there is a difference between attendance and engagement. So I know that for freshmen, this is a little bit different. Not only are you not in school virtually, but you're transitioning to high school. So while our attendance rates are good and we have people online working, our engagement rate is not so much. So let's be working on that engagement rate. How can you do that? You can make sure to create that space at home and keep it there, to schedule your times so that you know exactly what class you're going to, when you're going to do your homework. What does your Wednesday look like? So be sure that you're scheduling that out. Communicate with your teachers. You need to be a self-advocate. You need to get out there and advocate for yourself and say, where am I at? What is going on? So reach out to your counselor, reach out to one of us that's on the screen right now, reach out to your teacher to say, hey, what can I be doing and working on that. And lastly is, I know that some of us get in that mode that, I know that I did going through school is that cramming thing is, I can just kind of let it off, put it off and then just really try to catch up and get that extra help and put in the extra time. I'm not sure that cramming works in a virtual environment. I think we really need to be able to keep up and stay engaged. So let's work on it, T-Birds. Let's try to get those failing grades down, please.
Mr. Graham, that's such wisdom. And I know that this is a hard learning environment. And I know that our staff are working really hard to help accommodate students. And I know students are working really hard to figure it out. We just need to step it up. Our T-Birds, we never give up and never give up. And that's what we're asking for right now is we're down a touchdown or we're down a score or we're down a whatever analogy you want. It's time. Now's not the time to say, forget this thing. It's too hard. We can't do it. I need everything you've got, both students and staff and parents, to really see if we can turn this thing around because it's not panic mode. We have plenty of time. But some of the grades that we are seeing are much higher. And I know our T-Birds can do better than that. So hang in there, folks. We are here to help. Advocate for yourself. And I just want to thank you all. T-Birds, it's been awesome to get the emails of support and also feedback of what's working and what's not working. So thank you so much. We're going to end this thing. We went a little long today. Remember, you can always watch this in 1.2 or 5 speed if you really want to hear us talk fast. So Coach Weeks, thank you for joining us. Thank Terry the T-Bird for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Have a great one, T-Birds.